Here are the horoscopes for the week of the 9th to the 15th of June 2025. Now, I have quite a lot of motion this week, and we begin on Monday with Mercury moving into Cancer. This is a once a year event, and Mercury in Cancer turns our mind into our subconscious waters, can clean out some emotional baggage, can realise what our thoughts have been doing to us, both emotionally and physically in the cells of our bodies, and have a deep clean in those areas, like rinsing out a saturated sponge. So sometimes we can get caught up in our thoughts and feelings and believe that they're us, and go along with the narrative, but Mercury, with its quirky and piercing mind, says let's take a look. What's the emotional narrative here? What am I believing? What am I feeling? And is it true? Is it me? Is it helping? So the yearly passage of Mercury through Cancer, but we are getting ready next month for another retrograde, and that will be in Leo. So worth taking a note of what comes up now, because that could be the pre-story to what's brought up in the retrograde in Leo. But the very next day, Tuesday, we've got Jupiter moving into Cancer as well. So Mercury is moving next to Jupiter. And Jupiter spends roughly a year in each sign, so this is a bigger deal in effect. So Jupiter in Cancer is going to want to make some space, want to clear obstacles, reclaim our sovereignty. That's the main essence of the planet Jupiter. Expansion and sovereignty. So maybe Mercury bringing up the issues to awareness means that Jupiter can then clear them. So making emotional space by getting rid of density, baggage, blockages, really doing some internal plumbing here over the next couple of weeks with Mercury and over the next year with Jupiter. So we've had a look back to what the story of Gemini was last week. Have we become sovereign-minded? Have we managed to shake off the personality story narrative and actually realise our true selves? Be our own psychologists? And now it's the turn of Jupiter in Cancer to do that on a more emotional, internal level. But when looking at these charts, we can see that Mercury and Jupiter at the first degrees of Cancer are making a square to Saturn and Neptune in the first degrees of Aries. So as we know, this year we've had Pluto move to the early degrees of Aquarius, Neptune and Saturn move into the equinox point, the early degrees of Aries, and those have been harmonic, but now we've got a square, so a square brings tension. So to look for where the tension is, we've got two cardinal signs, that's Aries and Cancer. Aries starts the spring and Cancer starts the summer, so it's an initiatory, quite forceful energy. With Cancer, everybody thinks that people are soft and gentle and emotional, but they can actually be quite strong, a little bit bossy and slightly controlling. So with these planets in a square, are we going to be shown where we're too headstrong, we're trying to push forwards and control with Aries? Are we going to be shown where we're holding on to manipulation and the desire to control others for our own emotional security with Cancer? Those are some of the themes that could come up over the next couple of days. When we try to control others on the outside for our own sense of stability or security, or to feed our wants and needs, then it's nearly always very stressful, exhausting, and the answer is always to go in and fulfill those wants and needs ourselves and try and control our perspective and our vibration in ourselves, which then makes our outside world react or respond more harmonically. So have a look at where you're pushing, trying, reaching out, any paradigms of control. Repressed anger could come up with both of those signs. Being too in the masculine, trying to make things happen rather than being still and being able to receive. Those are potentially some of the themes of this square. Then very, very early on Wednesday morning, 6:44 a.m. UK time, we have a full moon at 20 degrees Sagittarius, while these Cancer and Aries energies are still very much in effect. So we could look to that date, possibly Tuesday night, to see what really comes up under the full moon. Things can be brought up for release at that point. So I would say maybe spend the first couple of days of this week in a reflective. Don't label if something happens, just observe. Or you can activate if you know that there's something that you want to release and rinse off. So the full moon in Sagittarius has a wild side, has a wise side, can go deep really and get to the heart of the matter. So a potent and pulsing tidal full moon with the waters of Cancer and the fire of both Aries and Sagittarius all playing their part. Seek wisdom from whatever's happening, whatever you're feeling, whatever you're thinking, rather than creating more labels or feeling self-pity or pushed into a corner or raging. Instead of an emotional response, Jupiter wants us to now learn to be sovereign and find the wisdom, because of course Jupiter rules Sagittarius. So this might be a very early workshop for the whole year of Jupiter in Cancer, lit up by the full moon in Sagittarius. How do we get to that state where we're not blaming others and feeling sorry for ourselves and lashing out, making stories? Where do we actually stand in our own energetic field? Observe, listen, reflect, and get the deep wisdom that's being presented for us. If you'd like to explore this and other aspects in your chart, then I am available for readings at zoehind7@gmail.com. Cover whatever you want, teach your chart as we go along, use tarot, record MP3. And so much you can learn from your chart, from your unique vibrational fingerprint to a trajectory of where's best to put your time, talent and energy in the future, to questions about direction, relationships, spirituality, past lives. All sorts of different things are possible. I have a full astrology course and a tarot course and more if you'd be interested in learning anything, because Sagittarius and Jupiter do rule education as well as expansion and travel, and these are very sovereign subjects for self-mastery. And I also offer coaching, because we really do want to rinse out that saturated sponge now and feel lighter and brighter with every day that comes. So do contact me for any of that. My videos are on YouTube, Zoe Astro, Instagram, Zoehind7, and Facebook, AstroZo. So a wise and sovereign week as we head into some new waters with Jupiter in Cancer, the awareness of that with Mercury there as well. Higher perspective that we're achieving with Saturn and Neptune in Aries, the higher mind. And then whatever needs to be brought up can happen on the full moon, beginning the process towards being sovereign and self-mastered. So wishing you a wonderful week, and I'll see you next week.